Today we are learning how to make cake balls or pops depending on how you want to do it. And there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but I decided to make them like this. But you can use like sticks so they're more like pops like you get at Starbucks, or you can make them like that. So, and I like them like that. So the first step is to wash your hands, but I don't need to do that right now. But then you make the cake, so you can make it like from scratch, or you can use like one of these pre-made stuff and then just follow the directions. Then after that you need to let it cool, so I put it in the fridge for like 35 to 45 minutes, or you can just let it cool like naturally, so that takes about like 4 hours or however long you decide to let it sit. After that you prep it, so I like to cut it into sections so it's smaller each time. So I do like thirds, so I take a third and mash it up, so you mash it up like this. So when you do it, you would take like a section of it and then just like mash it up, kind of like with Play-Doh or playing with like kinetic sand or something like that. After you get it all done and it's like there's no like chunks or anything, you take the icing. So I like to use a spoonful, so like if you do like the third of the cake, use like a spoonful and dump it in, and you can use the spoon to mash it around, or you can just use your hands, but some people might not like that sensory of the cake and all funky. But if you use the whole cake, you shouldn't use too much. On Foodle.com it mentions not to add too much icing or it'll become too soft and not really form the correct way, but don't use too little or it'll like fall apart. So you have to kind of do the right amount. So that's why I like to use a spoonful and then just add more. So if you use the whole cake, you can use 1/4 of a cup and then just add more after that. But when you're done like mixing in the icing, it'll look like this. So like I said before, like a Play-Doh sensation. And then I like to use, I want my hands off first, because your hands do get really dirty during this. I use this so that they're all kind of like the same shape. So you kind of just take it and dump it in your hands and form the ball. You can use like a spoon or just kind of like take a chunk out of like the bowl, whichever you prefer. So then I kind of make a few at one time. And I don't have to be like perfect circles, but if you notice that like chunks are falling off, add a little more icing and put the balls back in and mix it up more so that it has a good consistency. And then you can melt chocolate chips, so that's what I did. You can also use icing or like candy melts, but if you use chocolate chips, you should add like oil like this or coconut oil so it has like a smooth consistency, so that it, like it's able to follow through like in the chocolate. So you can also use candy melts or icing like I said. When I melt the chocolate chips, I do like 30-second intervals so that I can mix it around. But if you use the icing, do like 15 seconds because you don't want it too thin and just kind of like fall off while it's on the wax paper. You want to do like have it a little thicker than the chocolate chips. So you will take the ball and then put it in the chocolate and just kind of like move it around. And I like to kind of push it up here so that there's not too much of it. And then you put it on the wax paper and you can take the other one and do the same thing. And if you were using like the sticks, usually people put the stick in it before they like dip it in the chocolate or the icing. And then you're able to decorate it how you want. So you can like take some sprinkles and then put them on top and kind of decorate them how you want, or you could melt some of the icing and do it like that. And then they can look like this, or if you use sprinkles like this.